today I'm going to be doing this candy chromatography lab with my sister here. And what chromatography is basically you test the polarity of dye and you see how far they travel when they're put in like either a potassium chloride or like a table salt water solution. And you see how far the dye travels up the paper. And so basically how the big main concept that holds all of this together is a concept called polarity, and how that works out is we have so when you have something like this and
that's a Skittle, by the way, if you can't see that.
Yes, these are Skittles, not sponsored, not yet, but
we ain't big yet, but
we
will be
working on it.
Yeah. Not if we keep doing videos like this.
Anyway, so the object with the dye coloring with the least amount of polarity will travel the furthest up the paper. And by the way, when I say paper, we're not talking about just like loose leaf paper. Usually, when you use if you have some chromatography paper, obviously it's called chromatography paper. Stop eating the experiment.
It's not an experiment. It's mine.
So, but I would say the next best thing would be to use coffee filter paper. Don't be like me. Search in your house first, or wherever you are, for some coffee filter paper. Don't go buy how many 200 coffee filter papers
and use one like he did.
Right. Don't do that. So be smart. Look in your house first.
I'm a kid and I play with scissors.
Yeah. So, anyway, so yeah, the dye coloring with the least amount of polarity will travel furthest up the paper, and
the color will be yellow.
And the other time, no, we have no clue yet. We haven't done the experiments. We're trying to figure it out. And the one with the highest polarity will travel the lowest, because the one with the highest polarity will be I don't know how to explain this. It will be more attracted to the paper. So if it's stuck really hard to the paper because it's really polar, it's really hard for it to, it's stronger, so it's hard for it to move up. But if it's weaker and there's no really resistance on it, it'll shoot up the paper. Okay? So, all right. So to do this, bless you.
Thank you.
All right. So to do this, we're going to need this. You're going to need a beaker or usually in your house, you don't carry beakers in your house unless you're a scientist. And so we're going to just use this measuring cup right here that goes up to 200, goes up to 500 milliliters there. Coffee filter paper, like we already discussed. We're gonna use Skittles. You could use anything. You could use M&Ms, or you could use food coloring dye if you really wanted to.
But we be using candy. We be using something we can eat.
That's right.
Yes.
And so, we're gonna use a pencil. You're gonna use this to mark your paper, your filter paper. We're gonna use toothpicks. You could use ear swabs, but we're gonna be using toothpicks. Once again, look around your house for stuff before you go buy it. What else are we gonna use here? Table salt. We're gonna use table salt, and we're gonna put it in our water solution. We already got our water filled up a little bit. Honestly, it's probably too high, but we'll fix that later. Yeah. We'll actually talk about why that might be too high anyway. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out you're going to use some aluminum foil. Forgot to mention that, but that's our first step anyway. So you're going to get some aluminum foil and you're going to lay it out like this. We just have it a nice little cute circle. Look at that. It's really unsymmetrical, but it's going to do. Doesn't really matter. And we're going to place. You can use however many colors of Skittles you want, but we're just going to use 4 different colors of Skittles because we want to be able to fit all the different colors on this piece of chromatography, this piece of filter paper. So let's see, Lily, what colors do you want to use? I'll pick green. We'll do a draft.
All right, I want a green, red.
Okay, I'll pick. I'm gonna pick yellow.
And then I want
last pick of the the 2020 Skittle draft. All right, so that's how you can eat that.
Too bad. I don't care what you say.
But the thing is, we're gonna have to somehow extract the dye from these. So we're gonna put them in their different corners. And here's what we're gonna do. All right.
Like 4 corners for ants.
Basically. All right. So one moment while I do this. I've got a hose behind me, and we're gonna need just 4 eensy-weensy tiny drops of water for these Skittles right here. I'll be right back. Lily can entertain you. We're gonna place the water right underneath this where the Skittles are gonna be. So a drop of water for each. 2.
I want some Skittles, but I don't want to pay for them. And then he grabbed me and I said, "Don't touch me." And this flew away.
All right.
Cool. Cool.
Don't be careful. Don't lay it on the table like that.
Okay.
So we're gonna place our Skittles in each of the 4 corners. Kind of spread them out. You know that water droplet, kind of a green water droplet, kind of that out there. And now I don't know what to tell you, but we kind of just gotta wait. So now that we're back and we've gotten our dyes to come off the bottoms of our Skittles, you can see them right there. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, it's like an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole bottom of the Skittles is all clear out with dye.
Oh, I'll show y'all here. So, one side went on the thing, and now it's just like.
Yep. All right. So here's what we're gonna do with our. So you can grab your chromatography paper, you grab your pencil. You're gonna make about 1 inch from the bottom. You're gonna make a line. You're gonna make a line on your chromatography paper or your coffee filter paper like we're using. Make a nice solid line. And you're going to put 4 dots on that line because we have 4 different colors of Skittles. Equally sized dots. 2, 3, 4. And as evenly spaced as possible. I realize that, like, mistakes happen. And you might only have 1 piece of filter paper, but it is what it is. So, here's what we're going to do with that. Now, you're going to get 4 toothpicks, okay? And you are going to get dye. You're going to pick up the dye with toothpicks. And I understand that sounds kind of silly, but like, trust me. You're picking up your dye with your toothpicks. You're rubbing the end of your toothpick with your dye, and you're going to place them on different points. So our yellow is going on our first point. Obviously, you don't have to do that. Obviously, you may have different colors as well. So, watch out, Lily. Make sure you don't touch the paper and they don't get mixed up or something. All right. So there's our yellow. Is that green going there?
I can't do it.
Lily.
I can't do it.
I see that. You just kind of almost messed this up there. Okay, and then we got 2 more. Got our red. We gotta make sure that they don't cross.
Yeah.
Because they will mess each other up. Here we go. And then this last one will go in the purple. I got it. This one will go in the purple. All right, and now that we're here, we got our all of our dyes are here on the chromatography paper on our line. As you can see right there, I know it's tough because you're all in the shadows, but it is what it is. We gotta make do. So you're gonna So we have this, we have our measuring cup right here. We have about, this from the bottom is too much. All right, so that's about right. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take something that can reach the span of whatever you got your table salt water solution in. You know, put this width of it right there, and you've got a tape. So right here we got a pen, just a Paper Mate pen, and we're gonna tape it using some Scotch tape to this pen. We're gonna tape our chromatography paper with just some regular old Scotch tape. Don't make it too complicated. Chromatography paper. Boom. Look at that. Perfecto. You're gonna lay it over the top. Just make sure we got it perfectly in there.
Yep.
Alright. So now we're back again. So at this point, I know camera situation for us isn't perfect. And so is it near there's a lighting considering I got an entire forest right next to my house, and the trees give pretty uneven shade. But I don't know if you can tell, but the different colors have done a different, depending on what colors you did. You know, they have gone on different lengths of chromatography paper. And you can either measure it or you can just eyeball it. You know, if you're not taking this too seriously, you're just doing it for funsies. You can tell which, based on the length that they traveled, which one has the highest or least polarity. And remember, the ones with the lowest polarity are going to travel the highest, and the ones with the most polarity are not going to travel as high up on the filter paper. Okay, well, that pretty much does it for us. Appreciate you watching. And,
If you did.
And good luck on your chromatography experiment. And don't forget to eat your leftover
Ow! What the?
Skittles, or throw them at your sister.